So it looks like we have some pretty interesting news here regarding gaming sales, and it looks like, first of all, the PS4 has officially hit over 100 million units sold, now making it the second best-selling console of all time. Don't get that confused with second best-selling Sony console of all time, because I'm talking about throughout gaming history, it is now the second best-selling system of all time. So you can see that's absolutely bonkers and absolutely nutty. The PS4 is selling like hotcakes and is selling extremely well. The only other console that has beaten the PS4 in terms of sales as we speak has to be the PS2. So you can see Sony has officially made two of the best-selling consoles of all time. So congrats to Sony for making some of the best gaming hardware out there, and people just love their hardware, and they make some of the best hardware out there without a doubt. And then moving over to the Nintendo side, it does look like we have a bit of information regarding the Nintendo Switch. It looks like the Nintendo Switch, as we speak, has roughly sold 40 million units. So you can see the Nintendo Switch is no slouch at all. You can see the Nintendo Switch is still selling extremely well, and people still love the hybrid console and the hybrid concept and the games coming out for the Switch, because the games coming out for the Switch have been really good quality and things like that. So I can see why so many people have been attached to the Nintendo Switch and why it's still selling extremely well over there. And then we got some sales numbers of some of the games for the Nintendo Switch. It looks like, as we speak, the best-selling Switch game of all time right now goes to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I think, sold 19 million units. So you can see that game is no slouch too, but that makes sense because that is a game that is tied to Nintendo. A lot of people like Mario Kart. Mario Kart is a family-friendly game. Everybody knows that name. Like I said, that's a household name. So that makes sense. That is the best-selling Nintendo Switch game. And honestly, that really doesn't surprise me. But what does surprise me is how well consoles are selling nowadays. I never thought that the PS4 would hit over 100 million units sold in its lifetime. I never thought the Nintendo Switch would hit something like 40 million units sold. So you can see consoles are still selling extremely well. I remember when the 8th generation of consoles was about to start, I remember a lot of people saying consoles are on the way out. Things like the mobile technology, like smartphones, tablets, and things like that are going to replace current gen consoles and consoles altogether. There's no point of having this box at your home that plays dedicated games when there's other options on the market and things like that, and console sales are going to slow down. But lo and behold, what happens when this generation kicks off? It kicks off, and then years later, what do we have now? We have a generation where people are still clearly buying game consoles, and there still is a market for game consoles. And honestly, if you ask me, this makes me extremely happy, because we got things of talks now like online services like the Google Stadia service, xCloud from Microsoft, which is supposed to be coming out next year. And you guys know the future of gaming, without a doubt, is probably going to be streaming your games. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of streaming your games for a lot of different reasons. I'm not really going to get into the specifics of why I'm not really into streaming games versus having dedicated hardware at your house. But either way, I am glad that consoles are selling extremely well, because honestly, for me personally, I never want to see consoles die. I always want to have some type of consoles around, but it looks like consoles are here to stay. We already know next generation moving over to the PS5 and the next Xbox consoles are still going to be here for at least probably another decade or so. So that's very nice. Who knows the future of dedicated hardware and dedicated consoles after the next decade, but at least we do know that we are going to be getting dedicated console hardware for at least another decade, and that makes me extremely happy, because something about owning my actual gaming console, having power at my house, being to discuss consoles, discuss accessories for consoles and things like that, makes me super excited and super happy about that, because I'm a person that loves technology, loves dedicated hardware. I really love to see where technology brings us when it comes to gaming, when it comes to technology. And if we remove that aspect of gaming and just have a piece of hardware that lets us stream games from like a remote service like Google Stadia or xCloud and things like that, that really would disappoint me overall. So I am glad consoles are selling extremely well, and it gives me joy to know that console companies like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft are going to keep making consoles for quite some time. And then there was also that trademark recently that Sony already trademarked other consoles besides the PS5. It looks like they trademarked the PS6, the PS7, the PS8, the PS9, and the PS10. So that's also very good news. It looks like they still have confidence that consoles are going to sell extremely well, and I'm very happy about that. And congratulations again to Sony for finally reaching over 100 million units sold for the PS4. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.